Manhattan is what everyone pictures when they think of extreme wealth. Fifth Avenue penthouses, Wall Street power brokers, billionaires row skyscrapers where apartments sell for $100 million. That's exactly what they want you to believe. America's real ultra-wealthy don't actually live there. They live in 10 specific zip codes where you can't access the community without owning property, where private islands require ferry authorization, and where Hampton's villages of only 600 residents produce more billionaires per capita than entire cities. Subscribe and let's discover where America's ultra-wealthy actually choose to live. $614,000. That's not the price of a house. That's the median household income, the highest in America. Which sounds impressive until you realize that bragging about your income is exactly what old money never does. Greenwich is where over 100 hedge funds collectively manage $100 billion, creating a concentration of wealth creators rather than wealth inheritors. These are people who wake up at 4 a.m. to check Asian markets, not people who wake up at noon because their trust fund vested last quarter. The 23-minute commute to Manhattan means these aren't people escaping the city. They're people who need to be close enough to manage their empires while pretending they live in a small town. Properties in the Golden Triangle section feature 5 to 15-acre estates with gated country clubs, while the median home price sits around $6.5 million. Hedge fund titans, including Paul Tudor Jones and Steve Cohen's SAC Capital Empire, create a community where financial success is the only metric that matters. Everyone here earned their billions, which is admirable. But when your defining characteristic is we make the most money, you're basically admitting you're new money trying really hard to look like old money. Greenwich is famous precisely because it's where hedge fund money concentrates, which means it lacks the discretion that actual old money requires. The commuter culture means most residents still work for their billions rather than inheriting them. It's the richest by income but least exclusive by pedigree. Highland Park isn't just a neighborhood. It's an entirely separate municipality from Dallas with its own government, police force, and school district. Founded in 1907, it features only one entrance with security at the gate, no public through traffic, and fully gated infrastructure that makes it impossible to accidentally wander through. You can't even use it as a shortcut. The town literally incorporated itself to keep Dallas out. The median sold price hit $5.5 million in October 2025, up from $3.1 million just a year earlier. That's not appreciation. That's what happens when Dallas oil billionaires and AT&T executives discovered that Texas has no state income tax and decided to create their own municipality to maximize the advantage. Properties range from modest entry level at around $2 million to ultra estates at $25 million for people whose idea of keeping it simple still requires 8 figures. What draws billionaires here is the Texas tax advantage. No state income tax saves them millions annually, making Highland Park a strategic wealth preservation move, disguised as a lifestyle choice. Oil wealth legacy from the Texas boom created generational billionaires, while new tech money increasingly relocates from California to take advantage of favorable tax structures. The separate school district means elite education without exposure to Dallas public systems. The delicious irony? Billionaires incorporating separate municipalities to avoid Dallas while lecturing about civic duty, then using tax advantages to avoid funding the infrastructure that made their fortunes possible. Nothing says we're all in this together, quite like literally creating your own city to get away from everyone else. Paradise Valley just cracked the top 25 most expensive zip codes nationally in 2025. Arizona's only entry, beating Aspen, Boston prestige neighborhoods, and established coastal wealth centers. The median sale price hit $3.5 million, up 8% year over year, while luxury homes range around $10 million. This is the fastest growing ultra-wealth destination in the Southwest, and it's not hard to see why. Tech founders relocating from the Bay Area discovered that 260 sunny days beats coastal taxes. Arizona's income tax of 2.6% versus California's 13.3% creates massive savings for people whose accountants matter more than their architects. Year-round golf on championship courses, land availability for custom 10,000-square-foot estates, and gated communities provide the infrastructure that billionaires require. The problem is the climate liability. Extreme heat with 115-degree summers filters some billionaires who discover that saving on taxes isn't worth melting 6 months per year. In 5 years, this could be number 3 to 5 if the trend continues, or it could plateau if climate change makes the desert unbearable. Completely gated, water enclosed. Only one bridge provides access. 2,500 residents who all know each other's business, and probably your business too, if you're trying to buy in. Kiowa Island operates on the island security model, where geography does the gatekeeping for you. No need for elaborate security systems when the Atlantic Ocean handles perimeter control. The average home price hit $3.1 million, while home sites jumped 144% year over year to $1.3 million. That's not appreciation. That's what happens when you have a fixed amount of island and an unlimited number of billionaires who want to live on it. 21 miles of pristine beaches and 5 resort courses create the ultimate golf billionaire paradise, where eagles and birdies matter more than actual birds. Club membership initiation costs around $200,000 because apparently your golf swing requires 6-figure validation. That doesn't include annual dues, cart fees, or the unspoken requirement to lose gracefully when the club president is your playing partner. The Ocean Course features oceanfront par 5s as an architectural masterpiece, where missing the green means your ball ends up in the ocean and your ego ends up in therapy. Tom Fazio design creates signature prestige that separates Kiowa from regular golf communities, the kind where people actually keep their own score. PGA tournaments held here provide global recognition that matters when you're spending this kind of money, because nothing says, "I've made it," like living where professional golfers compete once a year while you struggle to break 90 every weekend. 2024 was the breakthrough year. Over $1 billion in total sales volume across 447 transactions. 20 homes sold for over $5 million each. Golf billionaires, including tour operators and equipment manufacturers, retired professional athletes from the PGA Tour and NFL, and financial titans create the community. The irony? Billionaires buying onto exclusive islands while advocating for public beach access, then maintaining private beaches that prevent the exact public access they claim to support. Oprah's 42-acre compound is worth around $100 million. That single property elevated the entire enclave's prestige. When Oprah buys in your neighborhood, property values don't just increase. They ascend to a higher plane of existence where Zillow estimates become meaningless, and market value is whatever Oprah's neighbors think sounds reasonable. Montecito operates on privacy culture rather than security gates. This is where celebrities discovered that the best security system is a community that actively pretends you don't exist. The median sold price hit $5.5 million in March, while the median listing reached $7.4 million in February. Only 60 active listings create scarcity that drives continuous appreciation. You can't buy what nobody's selling, and nobody's selling because where else would they go that offers this level of cultivated invisibility? Fog-drenched coastal location provides natural privacy, while cultural discretion means celebrities are expected to be invisible. Zero paparazzi enforcement is the strictest in the nation after Gstaad, Switzerland. Taking photos of celebrities here isn't just rude. It's a social violation that will get you blacklisted faster than showing up to a charity gala in last season's Prada. Ellen DeGeneres maintains multiple properties, treating Montecito real estate like a flipping business. She's bought and sold so many houses here that local real estate agents have her on speed dial and pray nightly for her to get bored with her current kitchen. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle own a $40 million estate as occasional visitors, having discovered that escaping British tabloids requires an ocean, a different country, and a community that views photography as a cardinal sin. The privacy enforcement is cultural protection stronger than gates. Ocean proximity provides coast access without Malibu's paparazzi culture, while University of California presence adds intellectual prestige. Artistic community features galleries and culture that create actual intellectual capital beyond just money. This appeals to celebrities exhausted by fame who need communities that actively prevent celebrity culture from existing. $1,040,627. That's what Bill Gates pays in property taxes every single year, just for one house. Most people don't earn that in a decade. Bill Gates pays it annually for the privilege of owning a house that's so smart it probably judges him when he forgets to recycle. Medina is where the Bill Gates effect drives everything. His Xanadu 2.0 estate spans 66,000 square feet with 24 bathrooms, because apparently even billionaires have anxiety about bathroom availability. A 24-car garage for a car collection that could staff a small dealership, a trampoline room for when you need to bounce your way through existential crises, and smart home technology that was cutting edge in the 1990s and is now charmingly retro. The property is worth around $130 million, making that annual tax bill the single highest in town. That's more than most people earn in a decade paid just for the privilege of owning a house that your neighbors use as a landmark when giving directions. Jeff Bezos maintains nearby presence as part of the tech ecosystem, because apparently Seattle area billionaires need to cluster like penguins for warmth. Washington has zero state income tax, creating significant advantages for billionaires managing their wealth. California's 13% income tax looks less appealing when you're worth billions, and simple math reveals you could save enough to buy several Teslas annually just by moving to Washington. Peninsula geography limits access, providing natural gating without actual gates. The median sits around 2.2 million, lowest on this list, but prestige per dollar is extraordinary. Because when Bill Gates lives somewhere, the property values become almost irrelevant compared to the networking opportunities. The fascinating paradox? Medina faces a budget crisis despite being ultra-wealthy. Property values rise, but tax revenue is capped at 1% annually, creating a $500,000 deficit in 2020 that's projected to reach $3.3 million by 2025. Even billionaire enclaves can be broke. It's the municipal equivalent of being house poor, except the houses are worth hundreds of millions, and the poor city still has better infrastructure than most American towns. Turns out you can have the richest residents in America and still struggle to pay for road maintenance when tax laws were written before everyone became a billionaire. $49 million? That's not the most expensive house in the Hamptons, it's one listing. The Held family compound represents the most expensive Hamptons listing ever. Watermill is the South Fork epicenter with the most exclusive oceanfront access. The median sold price hit $4.8 million in Q3 2025, with year-to-date appreciation of 31%, making it the fastest appreciating location on the East Coast. Only 2,000 residents create ultra-exclusivity, where everyone knows everyone's business, and new families face scrutiny that makes country club applications look casual. The pandemic boom of 2020 saw 50-plus transactions totaling over $275 million in volume. Old money concentration includes generational wealthy families from Northeast establishment, hedge fund titans who commute to New York City, and media moguls from publishing and entertainment industries. Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore maintain residences here, though celebrities are secondary to old money. What draws ultra-wealthy is oceanfront prestige, with the highest oceanfront prices on the East Coast. Hampton's legacy of over 150 years of ultra-wealth tradition, and old money culture where generational wealth equals network, not just money. The 2.5-hour access to New York for business makes it CEO commute hub, while summer social calendar features charity galas and country clubs where attendance is mandatory. 80 billionaires, $680 billion in combined net worth. One tiny mountain town that's larger than Argentina's entire GDP, concentrated in 6,500 residents. Aspen features extraordinary wealth concentration comparable to New York City's 110 billionaires, but in a village where the local economy essentially functions as a billionaire service industry. These 80 billionaires with verified Forbes list property ownership control 167 properties in Pitkin County, valued at $3.4 billion. The median home price sits around $4.5 million, while the average asking price for single-family homes hit $17.2 million in Q1 2025, up 67% since 2021. The Elite 25 includes Jim Walton, the Walmart heir worth $110 billion, who owns a 10,000 square foot home plus condo. Charles Koch from Koch Industries is worth $67.5 billion and bought his West End home back in 1992 for pocket change compared to current values. Phil Knight, the Nike founder worth over $40 billion, maintains property here. Building restrictions limit new construction, with most homes maxing at 5,750 square feet by county law, creating artificial scarcity that drives continuous appreciation. Grandfathered properties exceed 15,000 square feet, while Leslie Wexner's 65-acre property features a 25,400 square foot home, bought in 1984 for $2 million and now worth over $50 million. Year-round prestige matters here. Skiing in winter, plus hiking and culture in summer. The Aspen Festival of Ideas and Film Festival bring networking opportunities where charitable giving is mandatory and competitive. The spectacular hypocrisy, billionaires lecturing about income inequality from $17.2 million mountain estates, while their combined $680 billion could fund entire nations. Environmental activists flying private jets to ski resorts while owning multiple properties that require year-round heating and maintenance. 600 residents, that's it. The smallest population on this entire list, making it the most exclusive by pure mathematics. Sagaponack is officially the richest Hamptons town, where the median ranges between 5.9 and 6.7 million, depending on the month. Mean household income exceeds $302,000, top 0.1% nationally. An area of only 4.7 square miles creates a median density of 128 people per square mile, meaning ultra-sparse living where the smallest population equals highest exclusivity metric. Ira Rennert's estate, the junk bond mogul, is valued at $500 million as the largest single estate. Drew Barrymore's farmhouse cost $6 million when she bought it in 2020 as celebrity anchor. The Held family compound spans 6 properties totaling $49.5 million. Oceanfront properties run $15 to $30 million standard, while the pandemic boom of 2020 to 2021 saw 50-plus transactions in 2020 alone, totaling $275 million in sales volume. Literary legacy adds intellectual prestige to pure wealth. Truman Capote lived here, the Breakfast at Tiffany's writer, who understood that old money needs intellectual validation. This creates a community where generational wealth families from the Northeast establishment concentrate. What makes Sagaponack number 2 is ultimate oceanfront prestige, with highest oceanfront concentration, smallest population as most exclusive by population metric, and old money heritage of over 150 years with generational families. Median is highest on East Coast at 6.7 million, representing purest old money Hamptons, prestige with generational wealth rather than new tech money. $9 million is the average home price on Fisher Island. It officially became America's #1 most expensive zip code in October 2025. Dethroning Silicon Valley's Atherton after 8 consecutive years at the top. This is a historic milestone. The cultural shift from tech billionaire prestige to private island royalty marks a fundamental change in how American ultra-wealth operates. Price appreciation hit 160% since 2010, fastest nationally. Here's why it's number 1. You literally cannot access this zip code without authorization. It is only accessible via ferry, unless you are a time-critical billionaire with a helicopter. 0 public streets exist because the entire island is private property. Security at the dock checks credentials, and if you're not on the list, the ferry takes you right back. No public access whatsoever. While even Courchevel and Gstaad have roads that technically anyone can use, Fisher Island has none. You cannot visit without authorization. That's not a feature. That's the entire selling point. Steve Hafner, the kayak co-founder, listed his penthouse at $85 million in 2025 for 10,000 square feet. He bought it 3 years prior for around $28 million, tripling valuation in 36 months. Island infrastructure includes a population of 600 to 700 households, ultra small. Private marinas with yacht access standard, 18-hole private golf course, multiple residents-only restaurants, resort-style amenities including spa, wellness, and concierge. Palm Beach proximity provides yacht culture and social calendar access. Celebrity and billionaire residents include Oprah Winfrey, who owned an estimated $50 million property with current status unclear. Multiple Russian oligarchs maintain ultra-wealthy presence. Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner live in the nearby Billionaire Bunker area. Jeff Bezos lives on nearby Indian Creek Island, influencing the entire ecosystem. What makes Fisher Island number 1 is the combination of everything. Highest median price nationally. Inaccessible to the public with 0 public access and ferry-gated, it is unprecedented in America. International billionaire concentration representing not just American wealth, but global ultra-wealth. Fisher Island has the fastest property appreciation at 160% since 2010. Ultra-small population of about 600 households makes it about as exclusive as possible. Year-round prestige with tropical climate and yacht culture. It creates the ultimate privacy where no paparazzi is possible due to geographic isolation. The cultural shift marker is undeniable. The prestige moving from tech Atherton to ultra-wealth isolation. Fisher Island represents American billionaires choosing invisibility over innovation as their ultimate status symbol. The spectacular hypocrisy? Billionaires living on private islands while lecturing about community engagement. Ultra-wealthy, requiring ferry authorization while advocating for public access. International oligarchs hiding wealth on American islands while their home countries lack basic infrastructure. Fisher Island is number 1 because it's the only truly inaccessible billionaire zip code in America. Not just being wealthy, but being so wealthy you can exclude the world entirely. The pattern is clear. Real ultra-wealth isn't buying visibility anymore. They're buying private islands with ferry-only access and mountain towns where building restrictions create artificial scarcity. The smart money isn't chasing Beverly Hills anymore. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and let us know what you think in the comments. See you next time.